The next group of connective tissue is a type called cartilage. Cartilage is very unique because it's firm. It has a gel-like extracellular matrix, which is composed of protein and ground substance. So the type of cartilage that's found, or the type of cell that's found in this cartilage is called a chondrocyte. The word chondrocyte actually means it's a mature cartilage cell. So cartilage or chondrocytes, they occupy small spaces in the extracellular matrix called lacunae. Singularly, it would be lacuna, so maybe you can remember it as lacuna matata. It's very strong and resilient. It is usually covered by what's called perichondrium. The portion of this word, chondro, means cartilage. And then dense, irregular connective tissue and stem cells are responsible for cartilage growth. The first type of cartilage is called hyaline cartilage. It's the most common, and chondrocytes are in the lacunae again, so it's important to remember that. It is also the weakest. One of the places that where we find it is in embryonic models. So as we are developing in the uterus, we begin as complete hyaline cartilage, and it's only specific areas of that hyaline cartilage where the cartilage remains. Most of the places, bone replaces the cartilage. So another example is the articular cartilage of long bones. Another place that we find it is in the nose. We also have what's called costal cartilage. It's called that just because it's between the ribs and the sternum, but it is hyaline cartilage. So histologically, the hyaline cartilage, you're going to see the chondrocytes, which look almost like little eyeballs, and they are in the lacuna. And the extracellular matrix, as you can see here, kind of looks almost like jelly, I think, but it does have a glassy appearance to it. And we see the same thing down here as well. Again, those chondrocytes in the lacunae look like little eyes. So when you learn to identify different types of tissue, it's important that you figure out some common characteristic that you can see in different examples. Another type of cartilage is called fibrocartilage. It is the strongest type of cartilage that we have, and it's has parallel collagen fibers in the matrix, and chondrocytes are still in the lacunae, just like the previous example. And a good way to describe it is kind of like a shock absorber. The place that it is commonly found, or one of the places, is in the intervertebral discs. So that would be this specific arrow or area where the arrow is pointing to. In addition to the intervertebral discs, it's also found in the menisci, which are between the patella and the tibia. So they also act as shock absorbers for your knee. The last type of cartilage is called elastic cartilage, and it has numerous elastic fibers. So that's a key identification there. We still have the eyes. A lot of times the eyes are kind of paired up. The chondrocytes are still in the lacunae. So it's extremely resilient and flexible because of these elastic fibers. So one location for this is the external ear. Another common location of this is in the epiglottis. The reason it's so important in the epiglottis is the epiglottis determines which tube your food goes down into. So when you eat something, your epiglottis is going to cover up your windpipe, which is your trachea, so that the food doesn't go down the wrong pipe. So we've gone through the 9 basic types of connective tissues. We have 2 more to go, and that includes compact bone, which is very unique. It's calcified matrix that's organized in osteons. So the word osteon means that it's sort of the structural unit of compact bone. And compact bone has a very strong extracellular matrix. The osteon itself consists of central canals, which have blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatic vessels running through them. And they're surrounded by concentric rings of calcified matrix. And those concentric rings are called lamellae. So the word lamellae is different than lacuna. The cell, which is the osteocyte, is in the lacuna. And the osteocyte means mature bone cell. There's also another structure in here called canaliculi, which are actually connecting neighboring lacunae. So they are these rings which go in this direction where you see the red lines appearing on your slide. These dark spots are the osteocytes in the lacunae, and the rings that you see are the lamellae. So, for example, this would be a lamella. This would be another lamella. So, compact bone's function is that it protects organs, specifically the ones like the brain. We think of the skull, the thoracic cage, the sternum. It also provides levers for movement because there are tendons that are anchoring those skeletal muscles to the bones. And it has calcium and phosphorus that it is storing. Another unique thing about bones is that they have red bone marrow in them, and that marrow's function is to produce red blood cells. So remember that one of the functions of the skeletal system is that it produces red blood cells. The last type of connective tissue is blood, and it's very, very unique because it's a fluid connective tissue. So the plasma is actually the extracellular matrix within the blood. Plasma is a watery substance containing mostly water. There's going to be a chapter later in the semester about blood, so you'll learn a little bit more about plasma then. It has red blood cells, which are called erythrocytes, white blood cells called leukocytes, and fragments of blood cells called platelets. So in this image, we can see blood cells, platelets, and plasma. The function of blood, specifically the erythrocytes, are that they transport respiratory gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide. There'll be nutrients that travel within the plasma, waste products, hormones, antibodies would be the immune response. The antibodies also travel in the plasma. And of course, it's found in the heart as well as the blood vessels circulating throughout the body.